Yo, what is going on, everybody? Boy, here with a brand new video for you guys today. Welcome to the channel. Go Feeling Good, Smelling Good. Your boy is back with another video for you guys today. Before I get into the shower, just got up, saw the team of the year leaks. Now it's like, you know what? Before we get our day going, before we get hop into the shower and wash our ass, let's talk about team of the year because I'm let's just get into it. All right, so here's the men's team of the year. We'll talk about both teams. Who I think should have got in. My opinion on who did get in, things like that. First thing I'll say is this: EA wants to sell packs and they want to sell hype. EA is fully aware of what kind of community it has. It's fully aware that it has a community that doesn't care about actual IR performances. They care about, I know who this player is. This is a player who I like IRL, so therefore they should be in team of the year. So you see someone like VVD. VVD is not in here for how Liverpool has performed this season. He's in here because it's VVD. They know he's going to sell packs. They know he's a very popular player. They know he, is a FIFA icon, right now when it comes to, how well received he is in the community. And it's kind of the same thing when it comes to, why is Holland there? And this isn't about how either of them perform, in my opinion, but like, if you ask people who should have been who should have been like in team of the year, they would have said Mbappe, they would have said Dembele, they would have said maybe Harry Kane, and then you would have had like Rafinha and Lamine Yamal. Now EA being EA, they want to make sure that this team of the year could be what they wanted it to be in terms of who gets picked, by making sure that not attackers, but wingers counted as midfielders. That mean if the team of the year for the men's team is a 4-3-3, you would have to be choosing between Lamine Yamal and Rafinha and Pedri. You're choosing that kind of, you're picking between Salah and Declan Rice. You're picking between wingers and midfielders. If you're using your brain, you don't, especially because it's supposed to be a 4-3-3, you don't want to have Lamine Yamal as a midfielder. That's not what they'll have him as when a pass come out, but that's how it will line up. So it just wouldn't make sense. So that's like the first thing when it comes to it. It's like EA kind of fucked all three of those players by making it to where midfielders and wingers are in the same pool. And then again, like I said before, who doesn't deserve to be here is all just based on EA wanting to make sure that bad packs are being sold and that the community doesn't complain about, I don't know who this person is, so why are they team of the year? Yeah, I feel like it's undebatable. It's objective, not subjective, that Pacho should have been team of the year. When PSG had the year that they had, because remember the team of the year is based on how individual people performed throughout the 2025 calendar football year. Pacho should have probably been team of the year. And you can say the same for Marquez. But neither of them are in it. Just Vitinha and Nuno Mendes when it comes to the PSG side. And Dembele, apologies. So there's 3 PSG players in here, and you can say, hey, PSG has the most number of players in the team, so that should be good enough. But again, you can make an argument that Pacho and Marquinhos probably should have been here as well. If anything, you could say, okay, well, Arsenal has been having the years they've having. You could at least get Saliba the nod, so you make Pacho over, VVD. And that will sound like a more fair, team of the year, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to who didn't get into team of the year, this is the one where it's like a big thing, because it's like, well, how much does Harry Kane got to do to get a team of the year card? And people say, well, he did in the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga is an easier, league to do things in. So therefore, EA is knocking that. I don't think EA cares about how easy the Bundesliga is. If they cared about how easy a league is, you wouldn't see as many Barcelona women's players get promo cards, because as before, and I'm a Barcelona fan. I've said this before. I've been watching the Barcelona women's team since 2014. I've known who these players are before they were even in these damn games. I'm a Barcelona fan. Regardless of that, one thing to make sure that's known: La Liga F is an easy league, a very easy league. The talent drop off from Barcelona to the next team is huge. Even the second best team is still a bad team. No offense, Real Madrid, but just still a bad team. You know, so like it's an easy division. Barcelona women's team is putting 5 goals at least on every single team in that division every single time. Well, league. So if it's based on ease of schedule or ease of leagues, then you wouldn't see so many Barcelona players, women's players that is. So you can't use that to say this is why EA won't put Harry Kane as the team of the year. It's because they don't think Harry Kane sells packs. That's why Harry Kane is not team of the year. And I understand when it comes to voting, people go, but the votes count for 10%. So our vote counts for 10% of who gets selected. The rest is EA. So 90% of EA is going, we don't want Harry Kane in team of the year because we don't think he deserves team of the year because he doesn't sell packs. Mbappe does. Haaland does. Dembele does. Now you'll say, well, doesn't Lamine Yamal and Rafinha sell packs? Yes, which is why Rafinha or Yamal will likely be the 12th man pick. And both Harry Kane and whoever doesn't win 12th pick will be honorable mentions. So in a way, they still get team of the year cards and they'll still be in packs. It's not really the men's team. I feel like is less arguable other than the back four, mostly when it comes to no Pacho or Marquinhos. Then no Salah. Salah had the year that he had, and even though he had the year that he had, he's not in team of the year. So now the one that for those who know me, I will care about the most, and that's the women's team, because this primarily is a channel dedicated to women's sports. And when it comes to like this team of the year, the first thing I'll say is I saw people complaining that there is no Chloe Kelly, and it made me laugh. I was like, thank God EA doesn't make their decisions based on people who don't even watch women's play. Y'all don't watch women's games. Y'all wait and see who people talk about on social media, and then y'all assume that that person is just the person. So Chloe Kelly should not be a team of the year, and she's not. Thank God, because she doesn't deserve a team of the year. She's a bench player who gets put in late games because they feel like, hey, this might go to pins. Let's put her in because she's one of our pin specialists. It's a strategic thing when it comes to her. She's a pin specialist. You put her in because you feel like about to go to pins. That's why that's what goes on. She had a decent year with Arsenal for the most part, but understand she didn't really do too much for Arsenal in the UWCL. I also want to say she carried Arsenal in UWCL. No, she didn't. Mariona did. Lee Williamson did, and Russo did. Without Mariona, without Russo, Arsenal does not make it to the final. Without Russo, without Lee Williamson, the English women's team does not win the Euros. Those two were a massive reason for the success of both of those teams. Not only that, Michelle Ajimane is the biggest reason England stayed into the tournament to begin with. Not once, but twice off the bench, she came in and scored a goal that made the game go into extras, that led to the game going to pins. And guess what? More than one person made a pin. But because the internet, they want to feed some kind of propaganda when it comes to Chloe Kelly. They just make it seem like it's her. She's the one who's making all the pins. But it's like, no, other people made pins too, not just her. And it doesn't go to those pin situations without Michelle Ajimane coming in and scoring goals. So that's not the same. Ajimane deserves to be team of the year because, again, like Kelly, she came off the bench. It's not her playing the entirety of a tournament and showcasing this crazy talent that's carrying a team. So no, Chloe Kelly doesn't deserve to be team of the year. Y'all don't watch these women play. Also, Lucy Bronze was also a massive reason that she's one of, if not next to Russo, there's no one who has a bigger impact on why England won the Euros than Lucy Bronze. Obviously, Hampton as well. Endler got in over Hampton. I think I don't agree with that either. I feel like that definitely should have went to Hampton. I would argue Hampton or Berger when it comes to it, because Berger is just utterly insane. She single-handedly kept Germany from being ousted very early. If we're being honest, she carried Germany on, and that's a keeper. I would say Bosch doesn't deserve to really be here. I think there was definitely better left backs or that they could have went with. You could have went with another fullback who also can play on the left side, like Emily Fox, who would have been more deserving over Basha. That's two players I would say shouldn't be here, is Endler and Basha. You can argue Millie Bright, but like I said, I say that it's just more like something that you can argue. I feel like she's debatable. Obviously, Aitana and Alexia should be here. Obviously, Padro should be here as well, and obviously Pina should be here because she's been having a crazy season to begin with. So like in Russo, you know, she goes under the radar so much because people just ignore that she exists. When in reality she's been carrying both her national team and carrying her club team, you know, entirely. I do feel like, you know, people will be like, what about Grant Hansen, about this person, that person? I feel like for the women's team, other than who I mentioned, like Basha and, you know, and Lauren Bright, I'm okay with it. You know, there's no like glaring, oh, it should have been this person, should have been that person, other than the fact that who shouldn't be here. And then you have the 12th pick. The 12th pick, you know, is going to be either Hansen or Guidiharo. I can see this one being Guidiharo because of, you know, honestly, again, for those who don't watch the sport, you wouldn't know this, but she is one of the biggest reasons why Spain and Barcelona has success they have. She is the Sergio Busquets of the Spanish team and the Barcelona team. She is, you know, a big cog in the machine up at the pivot position. Her passing, her defending, her ability to get up and down the field. She is phenomenal. She should be the 12th pick. I'll probably go to Hansen for meta reasons, but the person who should get it should be Patrick Guidiharo. And again, the ones who don't win it, they'll just become honor mentions. Some of them become SBCs. Some of them would just be impacts. Probably both of them be impacts, being honest. I think Elise is the first confirmed honor mentions be an SBC. But yeah, that's my reaction. It's supposed to be a long video. I would say when it comes to certain things, you got to understand how EA works. They don't care about who actually had the best calendar. They care about who's popular, who's going to sell packs, who's going to get you on the game. You know, that's the other thing too. They care about who's going to get the community on the game. Because, you know, at the end of the day, if Diani is in the team over Pena, you're less interested in Team of the Year because you want Pena. You, the player, you want Pena. And EA knows that. EA knows that you want Pena. And that's not to say that Diana should be over Pena, by the way. I'm just using Pena as an example. We'll see how everything else lines up, see who else comes out for honorable mentions and things like that, and go from there. But I'll catch you guys next week. I'll be Wednesday Archer. Have a rest of y'all night, y'all day, y'all morning. Y'all stay safe. Count to another. See you guys out of here. Deuces.